Hello and good morning, guys. Welcome to this episode of Introduction to Chat Patterns. From the documentation, we've covered head and shoulder, we've covered rounding bottom, we've covered double top, double bottom, cup and handle, and many more. So we're gonna be having a practical view of it here. It's still no different because how the screenshots are dropped in the documentation is still the same as what we are going to see here, the same shape and all. So first of all, chart pattern doesn't deviate any time frame. As you can see here, when you click on this H1, you go and see 1 minute, 5 minutes. I'm sure most of you already know how to get this done, but can we say that chart patterns can only be seen on 1 hour or 4 hours or 1 day? No, you can see chart pattern on 1 minute. You get. Now, why I said you can see chart pattern on 1 minute, this is a very good example. If most of you have seen what just happened here, you notice that this is a double bottom that formed here. So we have the first bottom, we have the second bottom, and when we say double bottom, we're talking something like a W shape, right? A W shape, and this is actually a W shape, and there's no thing to argue about here. And we said that the second leg must not be lower than the first. The second bottom must not be lower than the first bottom. So in this case here, we have our first bottom here, and then we have our second bottom. And when we draw it, we notice that it was actually this way. You get what I'm saying? So it formed a W. So as a trader, once you've seen this come down, got to this place, nothing should stop you from buying at this spot. As a trader, nothing should stop you from buying at this spot, because you are going to have another leg up, and that's what we actually notice right now as it's moving up. So that's basically what our double bottom is all about. And remember, this is 1 minute, chart here, and we're going to take this to 5 minutes, and let's see what happened in 5 minutes. So we squeeze our chart. Even though we got a break here, I think we'll fix it when we come back. Even though we got a break here, I think what actually happened here is, if it's not that clear, it's called inverse head and shoulder pattern. And how do we identify? Okay, let's get to where normal inverse head and shoulder actually formed. Okay, I don't know if we are seeing this. We are done with double bottom, which is a W shape. We are talking about inverse head and shoulder. So we looked at this. Here we have our first S, here we have our head, and here we have our second S. And we said that inverse SH and S, after it formed, that the next thing you're going to see is up, and that's what actually happened. The next thing we saw was an upward movement direction and all. So this is not hard to identify. You just have to look at your chart. And see, oh, this is inverse S and S. Immediately you notice this here. After you've seen this first one, after you've seen this first one here, oh, what's wrong? Sorry guys, I don't know what's wrong with my So after you've seen this first one here, and you see this lower here, sorry guys, I think I'll be resuming this video shortly. Alright, guys, not be angry because I've still been needing some data. That's how I consume it every day. But so we have this one formed here, and after that we have the H formed, and immediately you see this S forming here. Nothing should hold you from not buying here. Now I'm going to show you a trade on that. Immediately I spotted it. I don't know if you guys noticed what happened here. Immediately I spotted it. I spotted that it's inverse S. I spotted its inverse S, H, S. And if you look here, if you look at this, you see a green triangle. That's where I actually bought, and that's where I actually sold. So that's some good profit. That's some good profit here. And as a trader, you should always monitor some chart patterns. That's this 5 minutes, and we can still take it down to any time frame. We can still take it down to any time frame, and we look for a good okay. We actually have I'm trying to look for a better. This is called triple bottom, but I'm actually looking for a better trade, a better chart pattern here. Okay, here we have one. It should not hide itself. Because remember, we have inverse SHS. We also have SHS, the normal one. So this normal one, we first have our S here. We first now have our H here. I will now have our S here. So let me think I'll draw it in a better way that you should not find it difficult. We have our first here, we have our H here, and we have our second shoulder here. You get. And once you see this, nothing should hold you from, if you are holding Bitcoin, nothing should stop you from converting it to dollar if you know how to switch to dollar, and vice versa. But if you not, you can trade it. That's actually converting dollar. No. So if you had sold your coin, let's say somewhere around this spot here at 9.2, immediately you spotted it, or even sell it somewhere around 9,000, and this is our neckline. This is actually our neckline. Immediately our neckline got broken, we landed ourselves here. So if we actually, this is actually a strong resistance, a strong support. This here actually a strong support that was broken. So immediately that was broken. Let me draw the support for you so you see it clearly. We have one at 8.2. We also have one here. So I think I'll draw the 770. Yeah, let me put this one horizontal. I think I need to end up my shapes. Yeah, so we actually have a color that we don't like. Let's put it in blue. So I don't know if you are seeing that blue there. It's actually a strong support, but it actually got broken. Now as BTC is now going up, we are facing huge resistance. See, as it's now climbing back up, we are facing huge resistance at this 6,008 to 7,002. That's what actually been holding us from going up. Otherwise we would have been above 9k by now. So all these are what we are going to pass through. Support and resistance should not deviate from you, and getting some chart patterns should also not deviate from you. What actually formed here is what we call the rounding bottom, but most of you might not have noticed it. This is a rounding bottom that formed here. So when a rounding bottom formed, we moved up, and we now got another shape. We moved up and we now got another shape. Even though the rounding bottom formed, we moved up and we got another inverse SH and H around this region, and that was what caused our break. I'm trying to see if I can get a clear chart, a clear one. Okay, so we'll stop here on this. On the next video, I try to show you guys the support, the falling wedges and all.